have, it's a little bit of a deconstructed pie, but we have a pie nonetheless. Ooh, why do I keep trying to zoom in on myself? Right, I'm going to eat this, and then I need to decide whether I'm going to walk, I'd go for a little walk, or replant the olive tree, so I don't annoy anyone else. We'll see. Oh, hot. It's nice this though, and it doesn't feel too much like a wintry pie, like, you know, you need comfort food in the winter. Right, I will eat this. Well, that was delicious, and I think I've decided I am gonna try and spend the last of the sunshine, well, the daylight, repotting the olive plant. So let's do that. So I am just repotting the olive tree. It was very, very dry, I have to admit, so I've given it a bit of a soak, and I'm just filling up a new bowl of compost. I realise it's not quite central actually, but just going to fill that up. I think it's sturdy at least, so that should be enough, shouldn't it? And then I'm going to water it again. But because I have this habit of drowning things, I don't want to drown it. But look, it's a little bit. But it went like this last year, and then all the green came back. So I am confident that it will be fine. It just needed repotting. So yeah, it's done now. It actually took less time than I thought. So I've given a few things in the garden water, including my blueberry bush, because I've realised that putting it in the greenhouse might have been a nice idea for kind of the heat, but obviously it's not getting any rain in there, so it was a little bit dry. I don't want to kill that already, so that will need repotting soon, I think, actually. So I might do that, not tonight, but maybe shortly. In fact, I might put it in this grey one here, because I need something to go in that. And I was going to plant like a bulb lasagna. I've still got the bulbs, I just never planted them. So it's a bit late for a spring bulb lasagna now, isn't it? But I could do that maybe next year, and then use that for the blueberry bush. But we'll see. Anyway, let me go and put this somewhere more suitable in the garden. I've decided to come for a little walk to get the last of the... I keep saying sunshine, don't I? But I'm not. I've come out... Oh, hang on, my aura. My aura's not been catching certain workouts that I've been doing, like Pilates, and I know that it's not as good as Fitbit for things like that, but I still thought it would catch that I'm actually doing some activity, if you know what I mean, but it hasn't been. So I just noticed that my aura wasn't properly, it's got a little marker where you're supposed to put it under your finger. I'm explaining it so badly. There's a marker so you know that where you're supposed to place your aura on your finger, basically, and it was twisted, so I have untwisted it now. But I don't know if you can see the Canada geese just on the field. Maybe you can't. I should probably zoom in to show you, but I have decided to just catch the last of the daylight on a little walk, and I thought I would take you because I wanted to explain what I'm doing tomorrow. So me and Tom are going to our friend's house in Sheffield, and we are going to plan our holiday for the year, which hopefully will be a ranch holiday in Canada, and I'm really excited. So Tom isn't a rider, but he's like quite the cowboy. He's got his Ariat workwear. He went riding when we were in America. He loves country music, all of that good stuff. He helps me out with the pony, and yeah, he would love to do a ranch holiday. I would love to do a ranch holiday, and our friends, unbeknownst to us, also would love to do a ranch holiday. So we decided that we would explore doing it together. We've had an itinerary priced up for us by a couple of different companies, which are virtually the same really, because they've both offered us the same ranch. It's just one company's priced up basically just going to the ranch, and the other one has priced up us going to the ranch but then having a week's holiday elsewhere in Canada beforehand, and that would be to basically go to see a concert, and then we take a flight across Canada to like the Calgary, Banff area, and we'd hire a car, travel around Banff, Lake Louise, all of the beautiful mountainous areas and lakes in Canada, and then we go on to the ranch from there, which sounds like an amazing holiday, amazing experience. I really want to do it, but because it's kind of two couples and we've just been sent a bunch of itinerary, we need to actually trawl through it and say, well, because you can completely customise the holiday, so we need to say, well, yes, we want to do that, or no, we don't want to do that, or yes, we'll do it, but we don't want to do those dates, and that kind of thing. And so we're going to theirs tomorrow to work all of that out, but I'm really excited. It's a lot of money. It is a lot of money, and I think if I am going to get a horse this year, it's not really the kind of money that I want to add to what I'm already going to be spending on a horse. And so I do need to think about affordability, but there are ways that we can change it up. So we don't have to go and do the city part first, which was in Toronto, and then all of the Banff stuff. We can just do the ranch. Obviously it makes sense if we're already going that way, then it probably makes sense to do all of it together. But if cost is really difficult, then we don't have to. We can just do the ranch part. So I think those are the kind of things that we'll probably explore tomorrow, just so that we're all really clear on what we want from the holiday, what we don't want, maybe what budgets are, and that sort of thing. So yeah, sorry, I was just walking past a family and I didn't think it was fair to get them or risk getting their children playing in the background. So yes, that's what we're doing tomorrow. Super exciting. If anyone has any tips actually for Canada, that would be really helpful. So Toronto area, things to do and see in Toronto, around the city or close enough to the city, maybe within like an hour. Also, from what I've heard, most of the ranch type holidays are over in the west part of Canada, whereas Toronto is obviously more east. But we've tried to look at ranches that are in the east as well, so that we could have the options to have all of the holiday on the east side of Canada. And it seems as though most of the ranches there are just like day trips. You can't really stay at any of them. But if you know any different, I'd really love to know, because we're really open to options, just so we can kind of be as flexible as we can and work out really what we want to do. But I think it sounds as though the main options are over the west side, which is fine because it's beautiful there and we all really want to visit there. It's just there's a few things specifically we do want to do in Toronto, and so if we can join it all together, that'd be great. But obviously it means then a flight internally, a big flight as well, internally from one part of the country to another, and obviously it adds a significant chunk of money, extra time onto the trip, which again, like I say, is not necessarily a problem. Like, these are all places that we want to see, and if we can do that in one nice trip, that's great. But in consideration of other things and priorities financial wise this year, it would just be good if we could have a think about all of the possibilities. So I will fill you in on how that goes. I'm really looking forward to it. I really hope we do get to go as well, because that would be sort of I say the honeymoon was a trip of a lifetime, but this would also be a trip of a lifetime as well. And so I feel like I just keep doing trips of a lifetime now. I don't want to do anything more than trips of a lifetime, but it's not necessarily realistic, is it? So yeah, ranch plus traveling around Canada is the dream, but I'll fill you in on where we get to. I think, oh, there's so many flies around here. It's actually gorgeous. Let me show you where I am. So, this is basically, there's a playing field behind me, and then this is some woodland behind our house. Fields, and then you get into sort of the mill area on the other side, and then it goes back into suburbia. But here, this is all new, young tree life that's been planted. Just behind, but you probably can't see, but it's probably about there, we get giant hogweed. And I'd never heard of giant hogweed until I moved to Manchester, if I'm quite honest. I don't know if it's more common here or if I was just naive, but I'd never heard of it before. And we get it a lot around here, and I think it does grow in areas where there's water. So we've got a big river running through where we live. But it's really, really toxic to humans. It causes burns. So I think what might happen is you touch it and you might think, I've just touched a plant, think nothing of it. But when the sun then hits your skin, it causes a reaction, and it can come up in like big blisters. And I think it's kind of, I don't know if it's permanent or it is kind of permanent damage, but maybe gets less and less bad, less and less worse over time. But I remember there being a news story actually about two young boys who were covered in burns because they leant their bikes up against the giant hogweed, because it's huge. The stalks are like as thick as my arm, and had touched it, and obviously then out in the sun got severely burnt by it. So it's not good stuff. I can't remember where I was going, to be honest, with that train of thought, but yeah, we get a lot of that. And then it's just started to rain, but I'm nearly home, so it's not too bad. But we also have this little river just down one end of the park, and then we've got the church and the cemetery here. I don't know if you can see through the trees, but the church is actually really beautiful. Might be able to see it better a little bit further down. And all the bluebells are coming out, which are beautiful. There we go. Look how cute is that? Like a little village church. In fact, this sort of frame does make me feel like I'm in a little village in the English countryside, whereas actually I am in the suburbs of Manchester. Yeah, there we go. How pretty is that? Really pretty. Yes, now I am nearly home, but the rain is just starting to catch on. So I am going to hurry up, finish my walk. It's been nice getting steps in today actually, because as much as I've been out and about all day, and I went for a ride on the pony, I feel like I'm not exercising when I'm on the pony, because he's just a bit of a happy hacker, and especially when he's on his own, he is a little bit of a plod. I feel like I don't actually work that hard on him, whereas when I'm in my riding school lessons, if I rode like that every day, gosh, I'd be the fittest person alive. I'm always out of breath, aching in my lessons, but never really on him. So yeah, it's good to get some steps in just to keep the respiratory system working hard. But I will probably love you and leave you until I get back inside because the rain is getting a bit heavy now and I might have to run home. Good morning. It's Tuesday today and it is post bank holiday. Considering it's Tuesday, I am in a very, very good mood. But that is because two things are happening today. I need to request some time off work. Why is my hair so bushy? It looks really... I need to give it a brush. I am going to request some time off work today, which is for the ranch in Canada. We were with our friends at the weekend planning the ranch holiday, so I need to request that time off work, so that's very exciting. And also I'm really excited tonight because I'm supposed to be going on a hack with my riding school, but just me, my instructor and another lady, and I've not been for a hack at this riding school before, so I'm very excited for that. I really do hope we go. Yeah, so I don't think I'll be able to show you anything, but if I can, I will. But I'm so excited. So with that, happy Tuesday, everybody.